first game. And it is Murcanic versus Krakanu. Alright. So it looks like that Murcanic is going for energy after a metal, while Krakanu's going for more metal. So Genshin's just giving some concerns whether or not they're a bit too close. But for the most part, there's not really anything interconnecting here. So they'll probably not really go after each other to start off with. Murcanic getting 3 metal extractors and now 2 energy generators. Well, looks like Krakanu's going for 3 metals and 1 energy. Alright, finally getting a factory up here. Bot factory, it looks like. Probably just start pumping out some builders just to allow them to expand here. Looks like Krakanu's not going for a bot until after getting that next metal extractor up. Alright, and looks like he's building more energy here while waiting for that first bot to come out, and we'll see what he decides to do with that first bot. Looks like that bot's going for metal. And Krakanu's commander's just sort of wandering around and building more energy. Probably just get a line going here. And they'll probably send both their bots to go ahead and start just working on metal. All this metal around here expanding. Two are getting more energy here. We're just waiting for it to slowly get that power up. Got 6 power generators here soon. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, soon 5 metal extractors. Doubling up their bots, which is definitely a good idea. It gives you more build power. But doesn't take too much. Each of those sucking up about 10 metal, about 1.2k power. Still more going. We'll probably see Krakanu actually expand this way and be the one to get this metal. Well, Murcanic looks like he's going to expand up northward and off to the side. So I'm not sure where he's going to send his. Looks like he's still not sending any bots southwards, which is something he should be doing. But we'll see where he goes with this. So eventually here they will meet each other. Looks like Murcanic's already getting air up, so he can start scouting. And same here, 1 engineer for each of them. Looks like Murcanic started a little bit sooner. We'll see if he decides to double up on it. And it looks like he's not. So he's got his commander getting some help from 1 engineer, and Murcanic's just doing everything on his own. And it looks like he's going double up production on that factory. Hope him get scouts out sooner. Be interesting to see if he just scouts north and then goes around south, or if he'll actually see him pretty quick here. More building. Probably don't have too much in the way of resources here. Looks like finally Krakanu's decided to double up on that. Building more power generators. Looks like Murcanic doesn't have a energy storage at all, which is not uncommon, but definitely sometimes a nice thing to have. Looks like he's got his first Firefly up. And looks like he's going north. It looks like he's actually building defenses northwards there, just in case his opponent was to come around, but course, he's back here, so it doesn't really matter. And we see a Firefly up, and that Firefly will probably... Nope, doesn't look like he's going to find him. Looks like Murcanic may be the first one to find some of the expansions, and the two have met. Alright, so Murcanic knows approximately where he is, with it definitely not a good thing for Krakanu. Krakanu's searching southwards, just trying to see since he came from over here, and just dodging all of it. And alright, so he should have gotten an idea, but looks like it's just on its own little stint there. Hopefully he'll actually scout all the way northwards. Oh, so it looks like Murcanic's jumping on Tech 2 straight off. Doesn't have too much of an expansion. Actually, he's starting to turtle a little bit, and that's going to be a dangerous thing to do, just for the fact that you need to have a really good economy. We'll see if he can pull it off. If he can get built quick enough, then he might be able to pull off a Tech 2 rush, but if not, he's going to lose a heck of a lot. The fact that he won't have a lot expanded. Leaving his scout there, just to go ahead and give him an idea of what's going on. And it looks like Krakanu's totally found all of Murcanic's stuff. And so he's got a good idea. Starting to build doxes, it looks like. Get those going so that he can push a front. And it looks like that Murcanic's pushing back with a dox of his own. Krakanu's pulling his dox back just to try to take out that one, but it looks like that one just running horizontally makes it so much harder. As soon as it stands still, boom, gone. Looks like he's going to try to take out that radar. 3 doxes coming up here. We'll see about those. Probably going to run into these two. Looks like they're pushing a lot of bots. Not really seeing any vehicles at all so far. So we'll see how this turns out. Yeah, more bot factories. Looks like he's trying to rush around this way. Just break all of these here, which may or may not work. We'll see here in a minute. Looks like these doxes are going to get intercepted by these 3, and alright, looks like that those 3 saved that one metal extractor. And sun's freaking my screen out a little bit. Alright, so looks like that dock's just sitting there with those doxes. Starting to push some doxes northwards from Krakanu. We'll see about here. And alright, looks like they're actually dodging each other. No defenses built on his outskirts, which is kind of a shame. There we go. And air defenses are actually really good against doxes. They can do a lot of damage to them. More bots streaming upwards. And it looks like he's not even halfway through Tech 2. Looks like he hasn't expanded his production too much. And just driving those doxes straight up. Hitting the power, and looks like he's going to leave them there, which is a mistake. One left, and that dox is actually making it through. If he can drive it all the way up through here, he can start hitting all of this. Well, it looks like he's going to run off to the side and miss all of it. There, more doxes incoming, just shoving their way around the sides. Looks like they're not building any defenses here, so all of these doxes are just going to run around and just smash through all of this. Which is going to be kind of a pain to deal with. Definitely going to be quite a big loss. It looks like that he lost the dox he had up here, which is a pretty big shame. Not seeing any vehicle factories going up for either of them, actually. Just lots and lots and lots of bot factories. Looks like the thing they want, even though for the moment As far as I know, bots don't actually give you an advantage at all when it comes to speed or maneuverability. So definitely they're missing something there. And looks like he's rebuilding that. Got some anti-air turrets to help just stave off Doc's attacks. Pretty good idea with all of these here, just so he can use them to stave off any small-scale raids. He's just sitting those anti-air ones there, just keeping an eye on all that Krakanu is doing and starting to bring in some bots. He's almost got his Tech 2 halfway, just barely over it looks like. Still building more bot factories. It looks like he's going to pull in here. Not really any defenses or anything built by Krakanu. And just starting on Tech 2 now. Starting to pull some doxes forwards to try to stave off this attack. Expansion-wise, it looks like that Murcanic's starting to... Actually, Murcanic's turtled quite a bit. He's got a few here and some here, but just all of these areas and back here. Well, Krakanu is just continuing to expand, so even when he loses a few points, he's still got more. But the problem is just all these units just driving back through. He's going to really need to cut it off at the pass, or he's going to lose a bunch of stuff. Definitely quite a bit more protection going on for Murcanic here. He's getting a lot of doxes out pretty quick and just shoving them straight in. And it looks like he's trying to chase them down, but any units he pulls from the front here just disappear. Quite a few builders here, just sort of standing around, not really doing anything except for those. It looks like he's just given them a new order. More bots coming out, lots of doxes, lots and lots of doxes running around. Commander starting to take a few hits. Looks like he's trying to just deal with whatever doxes are coming with it. Looks like finally destroyed all of the doxes that came out running around. And alright, looks like he's starting to try to push back. Looks like Murcanic's going to push around the side. Try to push in here where there's not really that many units left. Still not really any defensive buildings put up just to stave off any of these attacks built by Krakanu. Still working on Tech 2. Tech 2 almost finished. He's got now 2 workers on it. Normally you'd see a lot more builders on this in Alpha, but just for the fact that metal's so much harder to get, you're seeing a lot less when it comes down to it. And that one's going to go unfinished. Large raiding party, it looks like, going northwards. We'll see what happens with this. Looks like that Murcanic's keeping an eye on it, but not really doing much. Looks like he's going to try and intercept it with some docks. It looks like Krakanu's just trying to go straight northwards. Large wave coming. Just going to encircle them. Probably kill them all off here, but we'll see. As they slowly move inwards. And looks like he's going to lose all of those. Alright, when it comes down to production, it looks like that Krakanu is quite outmatched with all of the units that Murcanic has. And actually, even the back here, it's starting to build a secondary base, but it looks like that's even getting destroyed just by the superior scouting that Murcanic has. He's just continuously sweeping his jets all over the place, which is something that Krakanu has not been doing. So he's been left not knowing where all of the units and everything are for. And this game may end early here if Murcanic is able to kill the commander. Commander's down to about 80% health, pulling back away from all of these doxes. Large wave of doxes coming in from Krakanu, but more docks is streaming in from the back. And looks like that frontal wave is going to just crash. The docks is sweeping around, trying to pull in for the commander, and it looks like he's going to be saved by all of those doxes there. Just going to be protecting him as they push forwards. More doxes coming in just to help reinforce it. And even more doxes coming in from Murcanic here, just starting to stream all of his forces together. Some doxes coming in northwards. They're going to hit up here and probably break. Right there. Doxes being killed off, and looks like they're going to go down here. More doxes being moved out, starting to push this way. We're going to attack here, it looks like. We'll see how they fare against these anti-air towers. And looks like the docks is broken, destroyed the anti-air towers, but they were left untouched. And so they just sort of broke there and died off. Docks is coming around. Looks like one got killed off there by the anti-air. Anti-air is just starting to pitch in. And there you go. Looking back, looks like the lines are starting to be reformed. Not really any fights going on over there. Docks is just sort of sitting around for the most part. Slowly killing off those anti-air. Not really doing much to the metal extractors themselves. Starting to do a little bit of damage, but not a lot. And looks like that docks is going to go down. Medium raiding party starting to head up here, and it looks like from both parties finally saying more in. Looks like docks against docks here. Be a pretty basic battle, streaming along. Looks like Murcanic's going to win this skirmish. And also right as he starts to try to reform his factory line, and he's got no defenses here to just take away anyone trying to break in there, which is a real shame. More doxes coming up here, starting to push back towards Murcanic's base. Even more coming in around. We'll see what they do. Starting to see some Tech 2 engineers, probably going for, well, looks like he's already getting Tech 2 metal. Putting a lot of units on it, which can be a big mistake just because it sucks so much of your economy and can slow down all of this production. Which can really be a shame, especially if you're trying to pump out lots of units. Another Tech 2 going up here. Looks like he's just trying to get multiple Tech 2 up. Dox is coming in. Things are looking pretty bad for Krakanu. Just for the fact that he has nothing to really stop these doxes just stomping through his base. And they're going to hit that Tech 2 here, and it's going to go down probably. Starting to just watch that health go down. Look, tons of doxes just all over the place. Krakanu's trying to pull back, but just tons more of bots. And it looks like, for the most part, Murcanic, even though he has had a smaller economy, or at least smaller map control, than Krakanu, has constantly been pushing outwards and has defended quite well against any attacks that Krakanu has sent out. He just has no defenses really anywhere and is just relying on his units, which is good, but the fact is he just doesn't have enough units to stave off all of these attacks, and he's losing so much production and so much of his metal. He's lost probably 30 to 40% of his metal production just in all of the attacks. And it looks like Murcanic's going to go ahead and try to go for the killing blow and take down the commander. He's got Hummingbird scouting, making sure that the commander is nowhere near any other units, and he's just shoving in with tons of doxes here, and it looks like this is going to be it. And Krakanu's commander is under halfway, and under a quarter. He's just trying to bring it back through his line of factories. It looks like Murcanic's just leaving his doxes there, not doing anything. And it may actually be survival for Krakanu. And it looks like it is. Looks like Krakanu will barely survive that. If Murcanic had actually pursued him, he probably wouldn't be alive. Now down to approximately a quarter health. Pushing back, Krakanu is starting to try to push against Murcanic, but doesn't have too many ones there. Alright, mopping up all of the units here. See if he gets any units back on building that Tech 2. More Tech 2 facilities going. Looks like that's gone up, starting to build some slammers there. Nuke starting to be built just on its own. Serve as a rainy day activity, just in case the Doxes don't manage to take him down soon enough. Building Tech 2 energy and Tech 2 metal all over the place. Pretty basic. Pushing back against just a large ball there. Mopping up whatever units are coming through. Sent by Krakanu. Krakanu trying to get his economy back together, it looks like, and just trying to finish up that Tech 2. Alright, and finally it's finished. Getting some Tech 2 bots up. He may want to repair his commander just because another skirmish of any sort may just end up losing him the battle. More factories being built here. Looks like that he's just building along the backside, and looks like some power generators going up here just in the back. And actually, if he can get some factories up here, just even some tank factories, just build some tanks, drive some ants along the side here, he'd just be able to wreck the entirety of that. Large bots, groups of bots just coming along here, sort of coming up alongside, keeping a distance. They'll engage here in a minute. And alright, there we go, just watching them fire. Driving up alongside. And actually, the real advantage Krakanu has is the fact that his units are so spread out, but the slammers in that group are just going to do quite a bit of damage. His units are starting to clump together, which makes them easier targets for just all of those shots from the Doxes. Still, slowly they're pushing forwards and starting to come back around. We'll see where they get. Lots of engineers just sitting there, not really doing anything at the moment. Not sure what they're up to, which is a shame that they're just sitting there. Alright, it looks like Krakanu's sending even more units, and Murcanic's just struggling to go ahead and keep them at bay. Starting to send in Tech 2s, but his Tech 2s are just getting kind of demolished there. Krakanu's going to watch out just in case that any forces are sent from the sides. Alright, looks like Krakanu is not building any production on the backside, which is pretty big shame because flanking your enemy is one of the best things you can do. Just coming around the side and hitting them, not much they can usually end up doing. Building some Tech 3 defenses just to stave off any attacks. Looks like what they're up to, building some Tech 2 metal extractors here with his units. He's got one just sitting there, kind of a shame. That's not actually part of anything. Trying to push Doxes, but the Doxes aren't going to be too effective against this bot swarm now. And all of these engineers, if he could just drive some Doxes up, he'd just kill the entire engineering force that Murcanic has put on this. Murcanic has almost no forces left to actually just start building. And it looks like some... Alright. Interesting bug there. Looks like he's got some Tech 2 artillery going up. And Krakanu's trying to get and kill just all those engineers, but it looks like he's not going to be able to make it against them. More Doxes moving up. Looks like he's going to try to come around the side here. It looks like... actually, at this moment, he might be able to do it since Murcanic's focus is entirely on the front here. Some defenses going up, some Tech 3 defenses. Try to stave off any attacks by Murcanic. More Doxes coming around the side. Still, nothing built around the backside of Murcanic's base, which is a pretty big shame. As I've said before, flanking. And it looks like he's been caught over here red-handed. But he's starting to push Dox up the side here, and that may allow him to get into the base. But it looks like he's trying to flank all of these And looks like his flank is going to fail at this point. It's breaking apart. But that hopefully will give him enough time to start getting those Tech 3 defenses up. Looks like Krakanu is starting to heal his commander here, getting him all the way up to full health, starting to extend his game. More bots coming around the side here. And it looks like that Murcanic has found the open area here, and he's just going to drive some doxes down into that area. Starting to kill all of the units here. It's not looking good for Krakanu whatsoever. Krakanu's pushing up with doxes, trying to kill off all of those that are incoming on his base. Firing rapidly, and alright, looks like he's mopped up for the most part. Those just killing off the slammer and rest. More bots incoming for Murcanic, and it looks like he's finally gotten his nuke off, and it's incoming. It looks like it's going right for the Tech 2, and Tech 2 is gone. And that's going to be a huge hit on not only the economy, but also all of that production. Just a massive amount of production now down. It looks like Murcanic is putting all of his forces on just building another nuke. And that's going to hurt really bad. There may not be a way for Krakanu to actually pull back out of this. Trying to get more production facilities up. And some defenses, but it looks like may not be able to do that. And lots of bots. Doxes incoming just to sweep in around there. Trying to pull the commander back from the front line. But it looks like this is a pretty big upset, because Krakanu is a pretty good player. But it looks like Murcanic has turned around and used the advantage of teching up just to hit him hard. And neither player is really... Actually, Murcanic has shown a really great... Well, I would say a pretty darn good side of just flanking all of the positions for Krakanu. Krakanu has mostly attacked up this way, while Murcanic has come around the sides, sweeped in from behind, and really hit quite a bit. And now he's starting to push northwards, straight towards all of the production here, sweeping in with doxes and slammers, just ripping apart what's left of his economy. And Krakanu's lost most of his energy production at this point. There may not be much he can do to defend against it. Tossing up some anti-air just to try to defend, but may not be enough just to hold his position. And it looks like still trying to get some production out, but he doesn't have much of an economy left to get production out. And it looks like all of his Tech 2 builders have been destroyed, which is a really big shame, because those definitely could have helped him. But not right at the moment anyways. You have just really Tech 2 left, trying to build whatever he can. Looks like he's got actually 3 Tech 2 builders left, and they're trying to escape. And it looks like the nuke is ready for Murcanic, and he's starting to build orbital, but we'll see which he actually gets on first. He's probably looking for the commander at this moment, just trying to find out where he is so he can nuke it, and then send in some troops. Nuke is away, just sending it off, I'm assuming towards this base back here, just to destroy whatever's left of that. Take away the ability to build any sort of defenses. And it's going to hit. And that is it. Now Krakanu is really just running on fumes, not a lot left. He doesn't really have any power generators or anything. Dux is pushing in, just hitting that Tech 3, and the Tech 3 is down. Murcanic's just sweeping around here, looking for that commander. He really needs to see about getting that orbital up so he can actually get an advanced orbital up. So he can find the commander relatively easily. Yeah, you can see how few particles are coming out, and that just means that Krakanu is starved for all parts of his economy. And it looks like Murcanic's just building up a huge wave of docks just to send in here and destroy what's left of all of these engineers. Which for a moment it will be nice for Krakanu because he'll actually get some resources back and get a little bit extra power going. But he's going to lose it in the end. Trying to pull his Tech 3s, his Tech 2s out. Try to save them. And it looks like all of that work going into producing that factory is just going to be for naught. Still trying to produce more factories here. It's just not looking good for Krakanu at all, especially with those nukes. Orbital over halfway, and it looks like Krakanu's calling good game. And he surrendered. And that is it. Murcanic moves on to the semi-finals. And Krakanu ends here. And we'll catch their battle, well, Murcanic's battle in the next round. We'll see you then.